I'm David Suda. I'm the CEO. I've spent the better part of the last 3 years putting this together in the background. Greenbridge is purpose-built by a team of people who have been copper bulls and other critical metal bulls for a long time. And the adage does stand, you can be right for as long as you want while the market stays irrational. And it certainly felt like that until it does now. I see a lot of smiling faces in the crowd. Thanks for coming in here and sharing in the opportunity that we feel is on the come. Greenbridge Metals, as I said, was purpose-built. I've been involved both on the sell side. I was in institutional sales trading and investment banking since 2005, and then I made the move to the corporate world in 2018, where I was involved with a great gold company that's actually here, led by Gerald Panaton, Goldterra. And my experience there was, it's been a challenge. The markets have been flat to down for a long time. And so putting these things together in those times is advantageous because here we are in a good market. And so we've been able to gain access to things that we feel we never would have had access to had we not gone through the pain that we've been through. And also we wanted to make sure that we were focusing on North America. We wanted to be in Canada and the US. We see a global race now to secure, for strategic and security reasons, copper and other critical metals. And here we are with our hands on what we think is a very compelling package. We've got copper, nickel, vanadium, titanium, cobalt, platinum group metals, with a major focus on copper because our flagship asset is copper. In Minnesota, we have 5 properties that I'm going to talk about here. And look, I want to underscore, this is a simple story. It's simple because I'm not going to sit here and show you geological models. We're not trying to discover anything. We happen to be in a position where we have a tremendous portfolio in an extremely prolific place, the Duluth Metals Complex in Minnesota. Copper, nickel, titanium, and vanadium, all very present. You'll see them in our 43101 mineral resource estimate at Serpentine, and you'll see them present in drill holes, assays that have been completed. All of these things were held privately since 2004 until just last year. So there's a tremendous amount of data that we're trying to leverage. We're not trying to find metal. We're trying to find ways to efficiently raise capital and deploy that capital to create shareholder value. So, look, capital structure-wise, we've got 200 million shares out. I'm going to start with that. We would love to have 25. We've been building this thing for 3 years, so that's where we're at. And I think that's going to be, if there's anything that anybody here finds as a knock, it's that we're not fresh out of the gate with 25 million shares. But as you can see, the share price performance over the last couple of months, it hasn't impeded us from creating traction in the market, and we see a lot of tailwinds coming from all of the work that we're about to do. So the South Contact District, here we are in Minnesota. We're just north of Duluth. This is an extremely well-mined region. It's been mined for 100 years. Iron ore has been the focus of the mining. It's called the Iron Range. If you drive through the Iron Range, you see nothing but abandoned open pits or active ones. All the infrastructure that you could ever want is there: rail, road, power, and access to international shipping lanes. We've got 3 very compelling opportunities on copper, nickel, and PGEs. We have catalysts coming from all 3 of them. We're currently drilling at a property called Titak, which I'll get to, and we're about to put out assay results from a property called Skybo. There was the previous operator that was private, had drilled 10 holes, and they didn't bother to assay and sample all the core. Thank you. So our flagship asset, this is how we lock down value. For a junior of our size, I'd be hard-pressed to point to another one that has an inferred mineral resource estimate like that at Serpentine. 280 million tons of 0.53 copper equiv. Is that economic? Well, Teck and Glencore think so, as they formed a JV right next door at NorthMet, and there's a 2022 feasibility study on a mine that is furiously being worked to get going as we speak. So we're very, very fortunate to have acquired this property, and the plan with this is going to be to de-risk it by taking it through from an inferred level resource, taking multiple turns on a PEA, and ultimately working towards a PFS. Serpentine requires about 25,000 meters of drilling over the next 3 to 5 years. Our access to capital and what we see in the form of market tailwinds is going to dictate what that pace looks like. We want to go through that process as quickly as we can, but again, we have to be prudent about our cost of capital. And then there are also long lead items like environmental, hydrogeological studies and things that you cannot speed up with an asset like this. But when you get to the end, you've got something that is very desirable and very mineable. As you can see, it sits right on surface. Okay, it's got approximately 1.3 to 1 strip ratio. It's been mined right to the edge by Cleveland Cliffs when they mined iron ore. We love this. There's a railroad there. Couldn't be in a better position. This is what Serpentine looks like from a cross section. You can see it's shallow. It's not dipping steeply. Again, very mineable. As a development asset, Serpentine is very interesting and perhaps to some not as sexy. Some might say we're on the wrong side of the Lassonde curve. That's why we have a string of pearls of very advanced exploration properties where we know we can go and create shareholder value by making quote-unquote discoveries. We start at Titac, where we commenced drilling just the other day. News out to that effect. And why are we drilling this? Because previously another company called Cardero drilled a titanium resource here. 27 out of the 30 holes carry serious copper. And 462 meters of 0.37 copper with 20% titanium to us was incredibly impressive, and that's why we're there drilling right next to it. We want to find out if there's another Serpentine or better here. So Titac, you know, at a very basic level, we'll start with 6 holes, we'll drill a fence across it, and we'll have results flowing here through the first and into the second quarter. Skybo is another thing that we're going to have results from, and we're going to have them out very soon in the next couple of weeks. Why is this interesting? Well, Phelps Dodge, US Steel, the previous operators had all drilled this. It's a very large target. It's multiple kilometers of strike length, and there's known mineralization. The previous operators put these assays forward, really good grades on massive sulfide, but they left the rest of the core where they couldn't see anything on the core left in the rack. So we set out to assay it and put it into the market. Very successful, disseminated sulfide over long intervals, great PGE grades, good cobalt. If you go to our news release from July 14th, you'll see that. And the second half of that material is at the lab as we speak, and they're almost done, and we'll have those results out. By the time we're done, I would like to show you that we have a very, very drillable, compelling target here, maybe another Serpentine. So as we move forward, just by the way, these are the results. You can see some of those numbers. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through them here. We have a couple of other properties in the pipeline. We're disciplined. We're not doing everything. We're doing what we should efficiently to drive results. So I'd just like to leave you with, I see all this news globally. There's a race for these minerals. Greenbridge has its hands wrapped around metal in the ground in the US. You know, is Greenland going to be panacea to the problem of not having enough critical metals? Absolutely not. There's nothing happening in Greenland for 20 years. To me, it's a sign. It's a sign that we should be getting off our wallets and we should be investing in our future to secure copper, nickel, cobalt, vanadium, and titanium in our own backyard. And that day, when I wake up one morning and I see that all these companies that have great assets in the US and Canada are flourishing, it'll tell me that we've woken up and we recognize the opportunity that's right in front of us. My 10 minutes are up. I want to say thank you to everybody. We're at booth 611. Come over, ask any questions you want. Go to our website. My email is there. You can contact me. Thank you very much.